Welcome to GabTalks, where we provide tools, tips, and techniques to help your life and business be easier, better, and faster. Hello, how are you today? This is Gabriella. Welcome to our next episode of Success Tips with Experts. Today, I am bringing to you the awesome and amazing Alexi Bracey. Hi, Alexi. How are you today?
I'm well, thank you. Nice to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us. Let's start out with the first question. What is it that you are an expert in, Alexi?
I'm an expert in holistic health, and my focus is dementia prevention because, contrary to what most people think, dementia is not inevitable, it is preventable.
Oh, yes, I love that. I know I've heard you talk about that several times. So there's got to be something in your history that has developed you to get to this point of being an expert. Will you please tell us about your history, your backstory that makes you the expert that you are?
Well, thank you for asking. More than 20 years ago, I was diagnosed with cancer, which totally caught me off guard. And the research I did was at libraries and bookstores because back then the availability of the internet is not what it is today. And so after 3 months, I embarked on a new lifestyle protocol. And without any medical intervention, drugs, or surgery, I was cancer-free in a year. So that started my 20 plus year journey on learning all I could about health and healing. And then because dementia has been in the news the last several years, and I myself approaching my wisdom years, I was becoming more interested in it. I had a really moving experience in a nursing home where I saw firsthand the horrific effects on women who had to be visually shown their lunch entrees on 2 plates because they couldn't identify by reading the menu. Some we had to cut up the food, some we had to feed, and there was no social interaction at the dinner table except you could hear the knives and forks. Various forms of dementia, and some of these women were only in their 50s, and it just broke my heart. So I thought the world has to know. So fast track. I'm really passionate. People wake up. Dementia is preventable.
Wow. Oh my gosh. I can't even imagine. I mean, I've known people with dementia, but that breaks my heart. Gosh. Hello, awesome listener. Thank you so much for joining us today at GabTalks Success Tips from Experts. We're going to take a short break and say thank you to our sponsors. It is through the generous support of these sponsors that we are able to bring to you these amazing experts that are sharing their best tips for your success. So please listen to what our sponsors have to say, and hopefully they're going to inspire you that you're going to click their links and go support them.
It's time to take a vacation from processed foods. The ultimate lifestyle transformation kit will upgrade the way you look, feel, and perform, or will give you your money back, guaranteed. By taking a vacation from processed foods, you will detoxify your organs, cleanse your cells, and remove chemicals from your gut. And once you begin to nourish your cells and balance your hormones, you may notice increased energy, lower stress, deeper sleep, heightened mental clarity, improved digestion, and sexy lean muscle. Any of that sound interesting to you? You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. You already eat every day, and what you eat really matters. This is your chance to upgrade your food, upgrade your health, and upgrade your life.
Global Prosperity Academy, GPA, is a community of like-minded individuals that are heart-centered and mission-driven, focusing on high-level communication training, leadership development, and strategic community building. Take a look at the video in the link below and see how GPA is right for you. Well, before we came on to this interview, you and I were having a conversation about influences that brought us to where we are today. And you mentioned an author and a particular book that was very influential in this journey of yours. Will you tell us about that?
The book is authored by Robbins. I can't get his son's name mixed up with the father, and it's a diet for a new America. And so he really put the raw food movement on the map. And so I embraced a raw food lifestyle 20 some odd years ago. I was a chef at the time, and that's what I really feel catapulted my journey to health, along with other factors. I have since switched to plant-based rather than a raw food, because depending on where you live, when it's minus 20 degrees outside, you want warm food. You don't want to eat, a salad. So definitely a plant-based diet. I support it 150%. You are what you eat. And that says it all.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yes. I myself am not fully plant-based, but I do have a significant of my own diet is plant-based. So I have a great deal of appreciation for that. And I will say we've come a very long way in the last 20, 30 years. And I even live in a large city where plant-based diets are very common. So I definitely appreciate that. So let me ask you a question. If you were to go back and have a conversation with your 20-year-old self, or some of the younger folks that might be listening to us today, what one key piece of advice would you tell your 20-year-old self to maybe try and do differently that would help lead you down to the path to success to become an expert?
Great question. I would say be cognizant of what you put into your mouth. Is it supporting your body for growth and nourishment? Or is it just something to fill you up, loaded with calories and maybe pesticides and not flavorful items for your body? So really pay attention to what you put into your mouth. It's just like if you want a healthy garden, you feed it good nutrients. If you want your fish to thrive in the aquarium, give it good nutrients. Same thing with our pets. So let's do that to our bodies as well.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Are you ready to be a hero? On every episode of Gab Talks, we highlight an organization that is doing good in its own community. So now we'd like to take a moment to highlight the hero sponsor that brought today's organization to our attention.
Hello, I'm Deborah Thorne, the Information Diva, author, coach, trainer, speaker, and the proud host of the Leverage Conference for speakers, authors, and entrepreneurs. Today, it is my pleasure to highlight one of my favorite nonprofit organizations, Demo Chicks. Demo Chicks empowers, elevates, and enlightens girls and young women in the non-traditional fields of architecture, construction, and engineering. For more information about Demo Chicks, please use the link below. Thank you for your support.
So the title of our podcast is Success Tips from Experts, and you are an expert, which is why we invited you here today. So I'd like to give you the floor to talk to us about what tips you have for our listeners that you think will help them become experts in whatever it is that they're doing and lead them down the path of their own success from what you've learned in your life.
Well, it's really important to maintain good cognitive brain function. So if your judgment or abilities or decision abilities are decreasing, that's not a normal part of aging. And if we're an entrepreneur or climbing the corporate ladder, you want to maintain those good skills to maintain that good job that you can achieve what you want. So really important, we need a healthy brain all along. So really important is I focus on three things: physical, mental, and social activities every day. So the physical, your form of exercise that you really feel good about. It can be at the gym, it can be running. If you're a walker, which is great, but walk like you're late. It's not a sauntering walk, but a brisk walk to really get your heart pumping. Mental activities, whether it's learning a new skill, a new language, taking an MBA course, mentoring somebody, gardening skills are really good. Something to stimulate your brain, read a book in another language, play chess, play mind games on the internet, to really keep your brain active. And then social skills. We're not meant to be solo people. We're meant to connect with people, whether, unfortunately with the world situation, we relied on Zoom, which still helps, but there's a telephone call. We can now meet somebody for coffee, send them a note, take some cookies to your neighbor, invite her over to your place, or connect with a friend that you haven't talked to in 2 or 3 years and say, hey, how you doing? What's going on? So really, you reach out to other people because it'll come back to you tenfold.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for those amazing tips today. I am super, super delighted and honored that I got to interview you today. You and I have met a few months ago, and we've taken the time to start to get to know each other. And excuse me, I am looking forward to getting to learn more from you, because I'm not all that far from 50 myself. And I definitely want to make sure that I do the things that slow down the potential for having dementia for myself. So, and any of our younger listeners, take heed of the advice that Alexi has given us today. So if you want to learn more about Alexi, where do we find out more information about you?
Well, I do have a website, wholehealthacademy.ca. You can always email me at alexibracey@gmail. I'm also on LinkedIn. Various forms to connect with me. I'd love, just to chat, see how things are going, how I can help you, or vice versa.
Awesome. And we are going to put all of the ways to reach Alexi in the notes below. So make sure that you take a look, click on those. Don't forget to subscribe and click the reminder so that you can get updated for our next episode. Thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Hey, thanks so much for watching. We hope you got value today. We want to give a huge shout out of gratitude to our contributors. Please make sure you click the subscribe button below, and don't forget to click the bell up above to get reminders when we add new content.